working these out.
Maddie, you got anything you want to stand up talking about?
So, hello Commissioners, my name is Gillian Struble and I'm presenting about the need for a Harper County flag in our community.
You got Big Bang Theory showing his flag deal.
Yeah, I haven't included Big Bang Theory. He's all about Vixology, which is the study of flags. So, local flags help to foster a sense of identity. They create a symbol which members of the community can relate to, often something celebrating the unique character of the area. And that was from a website, and the webpage was based in Britain, but I feel that it relates to everyone who could use a flag. And we are very unique here. That's something that I love about it here, is that we are unique to every other county in Harper, or in Kansas, for the fact that we are so diverse in nature and we all have different ideas, and that's something I think we should celebrate. So the reason behind wanting to have a flag and why I chose having a flag is because in the 18 years that I have lived here and I've grown up here, I have felt the tension between our communities that is based on things that happened so long ago in the past, little trifles that have no effect over me. And I chose the flag actually because we were in Wichita and it was early in the morning and I was thinking about things I could do for this comp project and I had no ideas. And me and Mom went to Wichita and I saw this license plate and it had the Wichita flag on it. I didn't know it was a Wichita flag because it was early, I guess. I didn't put two and two together. And so I asked my mom, I was like, why is there a New Mexico flag on their license when it's a Kansas car? What is this? And she thought I was pretty silly. And she immediately corrected me and said, that's the Wichita flag. And after that, I started seeing it everywhere. And I had the idea in a Target parking lot, and I texted Ms. Bob. I said, I have the best idea for a comp project. I'm going to create a flag. And I'm sure she thought it was kind of silly too, but it ended up being pretty good. So the problem that a flag would fix is that Harper County citizens have nothing to represent their pride in the community. And we have so much pride here for our community and for what we believe in that can be represented with a flag. So the goals of having a flag would be to represent what's important to people today. This was done by interviewing community members that are outstanding community members that have a lot of pride and are vocal about their pride for the community. Number two is to represent the history of Harper County. This was also done by interviewing people that have had generations of family that have lived here, and also doing extensive research about Harper County. Three is to involve community members. This was also done by interviewing because I had their input onto what they felt was important. Four is to bring a sense of pride community. This will be done by putting the flag out there and getting it available to everyone in the community, not just certain people. Everyone can have it and feel that pride. And five is to create a symbol everyone can understand and relate to. This is the hard part because we are so diverse. It's hard to find just one thing to represent everything that's important here. But I believe that I did a good job of that. And so yeah. So the interest in having a county flag, the interest is there. This is a graph taken from Chaparral High School, the staff and the kids. And 40% said that they would display a Harper County flag. And that is significant. It doesn't sound like a lot because, 40% is not even 50. But it is a lot considering that not everyone at Chaparral is from Harper County. There's people from Kingman and things like that. Also, we had 32.3% say that they might. That might be dependent on the price or other factors that I didn't have determinants for yet. If that's not enough, 100% of the county members that I interviewed agreed that a flag would bring unity and pride to our county, and that says a lot about what our community thinks about having a flag. I interviewed 19 people, and all 19 said that it would work. This is a quote from our own Tracy Chance. "You know, there's nobody alive today that was alive when they started stealing the courthouse. That's not like it's something we should be fighting about anymore." To this, he's referring to the stealing of the county seat, which was a big deal generations ago. I mean, I'm not sure if any of you were alive for it. I don't think you were. I sure hope not.
Well, I'm not gonna lie about that.
So it's not something that pertains to our futures or to right now, so why are we still fighting over it? Why can't we come together from it? It's not something that we should be arguing about. There are people that are still cantankerous over it, over this feeling that, oh, they stole this and they stole that. Does it really matter? We're here now. So how to achieve the goals and the standards for this project? So first was to research the history of Harper County. This is the basis of any good project, is research. Two is to create the flag. I created my own flag. It's not necessarily the only option. I think it's the best option. That's my opinion though, but I know there's other options still. Three is to present publicly to the commissioners. If you couldn't tell, that's what I'm doing right now. And that's important so everybody knows that it's happening. This is happening. It's going to happen one way or another. And lastly is to print the flag and get it widely available to everyone to have merchandise in stores that are based around our flag. So the cost of having a flag, this is dollar bills now. So this is the price of flag from a company, Factory 233. It's located in Kingman, and I think it's the best option because it's local and because they have pretty excellent prices, and there's other products you can get there. I did contact LD Printing in Anthony, but they said that their printing press wouldn't work with the flag material. So I decided to go with Factory 233. Again, not the only option. There's other options out there, but I felt it was the best one. There is a price break at Factory 233. So for one flag, it's $177.90. Two flags, it's $163.70. For 6 flags, it's $153 flat. 12 flags is $142.30, and 25 flags is $133.40. And personally, to get this funding, I would ask the Harper County Community Foundation, and their grants offering are due on May 1st. I would ask for the $153 so we could get 6 flags and put them here at the courthouse, at Chaparral, at Attica Schools, at Patterson, at Anthony Elementary, and Harper Elementary. So they would be in big places that would show it off very well and then get the design out there. So this is my personal flag design. This is what I felt was best and the process how I got there to it. Again, not necessarily the only option. I know that Juliana came in here and her flag is excellent. I absolutely love her flag, but I also love my flag. It's like my baby now. So first design was in the top left-hand corner there, and I did love this design. It's the first one I came up with, but I felt that the words on it, a good flag shouldn't have words to describe the people that it represents. A good flag should represent the people without it saying who it represents. It should be that iconic. Also, the design is too complex, and it should be able to be drawn by a 5-year-old. It shouldn't be that complex, so I trashed that one. And I moved on to these ones, which are all very similar in design, and I ended up going with this. So this is my final design for our Harper County flag. There's a lot of symbolism in the design, and it took quite a few hours just to think of it. The symbolism in the design. The green hills in the background. It represents our landscape. One of the most popular things said in all my interviews was that Harper County, Kansas is not flat. We have a beautiful topography that has rolling hills, and this shows that off. It also has the green. The green hills is representative of not only our agricultural growth in the grass, but of our economic development and growth happening here with new ideas and new businesses sprouting here and just growing from nowhere. The yellow background is representative of the sunsets. We have gorgeous sunsets here. It's one of my favorite parts about living here is that we have these golden sunsets that are gorgeous. It also represents the wheat that we grow, which is a big part of our community, is that we are farmers. We are invested into our agriculture. It also represents happiness, which is something that I feel everyone has here and has the opportunity to have here, being in Harper County. The brown horizon line in the background is showing the dirt from which we came. We started in the dirt and we have grown from there, which is why it's in the distance, because it's in the past. We are growing from it. And finally, the light blue and the white rings are representative of unity. So I don't know if you've seen that symbol before, but it's ties to religion too. It's used in the church to represent wedding, but that's not what it originally means. It means being united, coming together. And out of all the words used to describe Harper County, whenever I interviewed people, there was family, community, diversity. And the word I thought represented all of it was united. United, we are a family. United, we are a community. So that is the symbol I decided on. I chose white and blue because it represents our skies. We have blue skies with big puffy white clouds, and I thought that was a good color combo for that. The white also represents innocence and childhood. I grew up here. This is my home. This is where I had my childhood, and white is representative of that. So that is all for my presentation. Thank you for listening. Do you have any questions?
What if, so say I was from northern Harper County on the county seat deal, and that's where it originally started, was in Harper. I'm sure you know the whole story of that. So what if I wanted to back up there, what would your answer be? For what you're talking about today, let's say that.
I think that happened too many years ago to really still be sour over. I mean, we're here now, we're doing fine. What does it matter where it started?
Good answer, that's all I need. Thank you.
Okay.
So if the foundation says no, what are your next steps? Because here's the deal, I want one, and I want you to tell me when I'm going to be able to get one. So if the foundation says no, then what are you going to do next?
I would probably pay for it out of pocket and then sell them on my own and then earn money back to create more and just go that way. And it would be more like a non-profit organization type thing.
Yep.
And I mean, this is the Harper County flag, so it's not about me or about the commissioners. This isn't something that we vote on.
Right.
This is just saying that we want pride in our communities, and this is how we think we can get that done. So from here, businesses like the clothing store that's done like, what is it called, Natalie?
Mine?
Yeah,
Crown Circle Clothing.
Crown Circle. From there, they can order shirts that have this design on them, and the flags itself can be sold by anybody, and they can be changed for anyone in the community. So it can be blue and gold for Chaparral, or Attica can have one for their football games that are red and black. So it's not set in stone, it's just this is the design that we think represents it best, and it can be changed based on where you live or what you want. So I think that's what's really special about having a flag.
I agree.
So who all did you interview?
Oh, Dad.
There's 19 people.
You
You
should go remember that.
Well, I interviewed Paul Schmidt, I interviewed Tracy Chance, Juliana. I interviewed someone from Wichita that's in charge of their flag, like they're the ones that started the whole movement. I interviewed the Geeson family. I interviewed Mr. Zaradnik.
A lot of mayors.
Yeah, I interviewed the mayors.
Of all the towns?
Yep. All the towns that, except for Danville, because I couldn't get a hold of their mayor. But I interviewed Angie Alexander from, yeah. I interviewed Blue Ball, I interviewed Anthony Mayor,
Which blue ball?
The mayor.
the mayor, Scott, yeah.
Well, I thought maybe because Jeff was on the city commission, Wichita.
Yeah, and so I interviewed a lot of people, and it was like a good 3 weeks of just interviews, which was intense, but I'm glad I did it. I got a lot of information.
And you know that we saw one, what, a month ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I watched that interview, and I love their flag. I think it's a great design too.
So my thoughts on that is, or are, I like to see young people involved. That's, I was a teacher a long time ago, and that's my whole motivation in life is to see young people succeed and thrive. And this came from young people, and I love to see young people doing stuff like this. You are going to take the reins from us not too long from now. It'll go pretty quick. And I like to, we are all getting old, and they see that. You know, I used to think 40 wasn't that bad, but now I remember sitting in their shoes and thinking 40 was horrible. But I just like to see that you have the motivation. You've got all these people here with you to support that. I would imagine there's more, except for the teacher wouldn't let them out of school. So I don't know where it came from. I have to think that you have a lot of that drive. Maybe the teachers help push that in you too, but I'm really proud of you guys in the generation putting this together. So I want to support that however we can, because like I said, you will be taking the reins over from us someday, and that'll be pretty quick. So I like this, I really do.
Thank you.
So I like theirs, but yours kind of sits a little bit better for me.
Thank you.
So
Right on that.
no, I like kids, and I like motivated kids, you know.
I totally agree, totally agree. I mean, I'm for it, so.
And she's not a kid. Don't get me wrong.
I'm just glad that you can remember who you interviewed, because there's another Struble in the room that probably couldn't remember all of it.
I knew who she interviewed.
No, we're blessed to have good kids around.
They're not kids.
Well, they are, and you said fit 40, I'm thinking 60 is the new young, so there you go.
Yeah.
But no, very proud of you guys.
Our teachers were pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ms.
Yeah,
Bobbitt.
we hear a lot about you. I mean, at least my kids did anyway, so, yeah.
Ms. Bobbitt's an angel. We love her.
Jillian, you said you talked to Miss Juliana. Would you be interested in doing like a collaboration with her, or like
Yeah,
a Kids in the Arts Center?
I've thought about it, and I think there is a way that we can incorporate designs together and see how that might work out. I have to get together with her.
Was that
We can't have.
Shelley Council?
I talked to her too, yeah.
Oh, well, I
but
couldn't hear who she said, so.
no, there's Juliana and incorporating our designs together.
Oh, I got you.
Because we can't have two flags in the same county. You have to come together and have one flag. You can't have your flag and her flag both flying in Harper County. So it has
So
to be,
what-
right? I mean, we can't have, because we heard her, she did a great job too. I mean, you listen to her.
Yeah, she's
And-
awesome.
And she's did a lot of research, you did a lot of research, but we can't have your flag, her flag, and their flag, so.
Yeah.
Just like you talked about, you gotta come together.
Mhm.
Can't have differences, you gotta come together, make one good flag for Harper County. And I think we're all for it.
Yeah. I like the motivation of it though.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
So,
But I think you're right, this might bring unity after 50 years.
well, kind of like you and I talked. You know when you drive somewhere, you're on vacation, and you see a Kansas plate, and even better than that, you see a Harper County plate. I think this has the means to be even better than seeing a Harper County plate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because in my family, that's what we do. We always look for, where's the Kansas plate? And then we see if a Harper County, just everybody flips out in the car. I don't know why, but it happens.
Yeah, and I talked to the lady in Wichita, her name is Angie, and I talked to her about how they got their license plates with the Wichita flags, and it turns out that you pay $10,000, I think, for the license plate design, and then from there, as soon as you have so many people buy the license plate, it just becomes instilled. You don't have to pay for it anymore. You just pay an extra $10 whenever you buy a license plate to have that license plate, and then that money doesn't go towards owning the license plate anymore. It goes to like a park. Theirs goes to a park in Wichita
Really?
to keep it updated. So after that $10,000 is paid to get the license plate approved or whatever, it goes to whatever that you want that money to go to, and you can have that design on license plates.
Well, I know that Wichita's really
It's
backed the flag.
Yeah.
You see the flag in Wichita.
Well, it's on the dentist office shirts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They really,
Do you remember how many was gonna be in Harper flags? How many you'd like to put up there?
There would be one at the school, so that's the only one in Harper, but they would also be able to be purchased from whatever
Well, I
store.
was thinking about the ambulance line.
That's a good idea, yeah. I didn't
Yeah,
even
there's
think
no
of that.
end to that, yeah.
Right.
I mean, you saw the graph with the price breaks and stuff, so you can order as many as you want. That was just my idea that came to me, but there's options to have more
Right.
besides just the 6.
Yeah.
Those are just the places that I found to be the most relevant in our county.
I like it.
I do too. I want to help her figure out where we go from there, because I don't want to leave this day and then this be something that we all look back 10 years ago and think, well, remember when Gillian came in and talked about that? I want to figure out how we move from there to make sure something comes from this. And you're about to get real busy in life. So, you know, you may not want a whole bunch, well, yeah, but when you leave home, things change quite a bit. So, anyway, I
Yeah, I like
want
what we're doing for too, and like I say, with Gianna, and get one, and let's go.
Yeah, I plan on talking to her more after, the rest of my 9 days is over, because there's a jam-packed 9 days.
Maybe we can
So,
get Shelley to maybe help that.
Yeah.
We can get Shelley maybe help with that.
Yeah.
I think she's on our.
yeah, I interviewed Shelley too, and she had a lot to say about why we need this.
But she might be able to help
She would,
get you
yeah,
guys
she'll be
together
helpful.
and push it forward, get something moving. She's
Well,
really
you can
good.
put me one down for one in your books, I'll fly one on my farm for you.
to, same here, so. We'll visit with Shelley when, next time Shelley comes in, about what we can do to make sure we push this deal forward, okay?
So she may be getting in contact with you.
Yay, great.
Thank you, Gillian.
Oh, you want to get a picture with your
Yep.
dad?
Jason
Aww.
wants one. He always takes pictures.
Well, that's
Just Jason?
just her and Aaron, or?
Yeah.
So when you guys are through too, then we'll get the whole group there.
Well, I can't stand here, I'll be right in front of the screen.
That'll work. You guys here.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
I need to put them on.
No, don't do that.
Okay, you wanna get the rest of the kids by chance?
Right there we go.
Probably.
Oh.
Rest of you guys quicker. We'll get the whole group.
Miss Bobbitt needs to come too.
Yeah, Miss
Yeah,
Bob.
Miss Bobbitt, you have
Yeah.
to come.
Not us, just them.
Yeah, we're getting the whole group here. Make sure you smile, because you'll be in the paper
We're
now.
around each other so we don't look awkward. James?
Thank you, guys.
Jillian, what are you doing?
Hold on.
One more, sorry. The chair wasn't going.
Good, my arm was weird.
You want those in there?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. One, two. Perfect.
Jillian,
Bob, I want to tell you
what are
thanks
doing the
for
rest of the
doing
day?
this.
The rest of the day? Oh, a lot of stuff.
We swap you out for him, what do you think?
Oh, yeah.
You gonna do that, Jeff?
Yeah.
We really appreciate what you do.
You can sit in the soft chair the rest of the day.
I
We're
would-
gonna swap there, we're gonna swap her back the rest of the day.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yep, same for me.
Thank you guys, thanks so much.
No need to run off, the fun isn't over with.
He's good to buy him ice cream, maybe, huh?
See you, thank you, thanks for coming.
That's good stuff.
A lot of research.
Mike's up there. She's good.
Mike?
You're nervous?
Oh, I was
How are you, Mike?
off.
Well, I don't know if we're still on.
We're running a little bit behind.
But we expect that a little bit when you got young people coming in to visit. I'm gonna tell you, it's fun visiting young people. I don't know about them too, but
It is,
it's a good thing.
especially when you've got one of your kids involved.
They're all, I mean, I would like to went to the Modeling things when they did their presentation in other places. I mean,
I had my finger up my nose still when I was that age.
they,
Really? They're the right answer to that on my
Yeah,
county
no
seat.
doubt. Get over it, Jeff.
They're a bunch of
No, I
bright
I told
kids.
my mom now.
Oh,
There's a bunch of bright kids. I mean, them kids are just pretty amazing.
all right, go ahead, Mike, if you're
You know, my
ready.
pickup broke down first thing this morning. Not allowed to add it because I lost all oil pressure.
Oh,
So I got one borrowed now, so we're starting Monday after that. And we got a lot of mill route travel, so,
Thank you for that.
yeah, and we worked on Kiowa Blacktop. We hauled shell to that bridge down there, 'cause it was a downfall and back on.
Thank you.
I have a permit for Gerald Wolff for laying the water line across one of our roads. It's not a main road. I don't have the paperwork because Sheena's not here today.
Okay.
So I guess that's something you sign off on next Monday or,
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's sit next Monday, see what road is.
and if you're okay with it, that's the main thing, if you say it's not.
yeah, I told him it wouldn't be a problem. It's not a main road. It's on Northeast 20.
Do we need to see it then?
We have to sign off on
Okay.
that.
The tire cutter out at the landfill, they said the engine needs overhaul. I would like to get permission to get that done because Home Thicket will not accept tires if they're not cut. And it's cheaper, I hear, to get them.
What kind of engine is it, Mike?
That's what I was
I
gonna
don't even know. I haven't seen it in years. I used to use it back.
I never made it. I don't remember what engine was on.
ask. The cutter? So if it, the engine be replaced cheaper
That's
than
what
we can have it
I was
run?
gonna ask, what that was. Briggs or, I'm assuming it's
I will
Briggs.
find out, but nobody.
Sometimes anymore, it's maybe cheaper just to have it replaced and stuff, but I don't know what engine it is.
Well, isn't it the Kohler that's the one of the better ones now?
Kohler, if it's a V-twin Kohler, it's, the older Kohler, I would probably overhaul it. 'Cause
I'll see
you
what
can, easy
it
to
is.
overhaul,
Yeah,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, many of them.
Ryan's dropping off some brush samples, colors.
Oh, okay. To your house or here? Oh,
I don't know what the delay is. It sounds like the excavator's gonna be another week.
that's what I was told last week. I talked to Damien, he said.
Yeah.
I don't doubt it. It does not surprise me.
I know,
It'd be a month, I figured.
Well, is it in Wichita?
Mhm.
It's not even in Wichita.
and Bob, I know he's tore it down, but I don't know if he's got any farther.
So I've been.
Was it in the engine? Let's see.
I don't know. I haven't talked to him. I walked in there one day and he had it tore apart and I left. He wasn't there, so.
And you got it in last Friday or Saturday?
Yep, Friday.
Yeah, okay.
But the way things are, on that excavator, you might have Sheena or the other young lady in there call and find out where the excavator is at.
She knows they told her Friday, I just don't know what she told me.
As long as it's in the States.
It is,
Okay.
it is.
Just can't get transportation, I assume, is that?
That's the way everything is. I'm telling you, is. And that's,
Well, that's all I've really got, unless you got questions.
how about our
Behind.
piling drivers, they here? We're gonna be pulling them too.
Yeah.
Oh, when you, what's your dates on the county cleanup? Or maybe I got that far. I think it was in
Yeah,
May last
they
year.
got them set, but I don't know what they are.
Shonda, we should have something on that from last year. We found
She
it,
looked it up this year a while back. I think it May something, right?
we found it the same thing again, weren't we? That seemed to work pretty good.
Well, I've had people hit here too, so.
I can
May
ask,
12th, 15th, or through the 15th, and then the 19th through the 22nd of May. Want to just kind of go with that?
There, I know they were talking about
Well,
that, was back
that's
one
what-
week.
12th through the, well, no, that wouldn't work, because,
Yeah, I was just bumping back to the
Right.
ninth through the 13th.
Right.
What was the other one you said, the next week after that?
it was the 19th through the
so
22nd,
just
so.
skip a week.
Yeah,
about a week in between.
yeah.
So then 23rd to the 27th?
No, that, just to have
You
it,
need that back?
I don't.
23rd to 22nd be the second week then?
yeah.
So you do want to do it 2 full weeks?
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Two-
Well, not, it won't be on a Saturday, right? It'll just be Monday through Friday? Right?
Yeah, no weekends.
Is
Did
that-
we, no, man, we did one
I'm gonna look
weekend.
that up again, so it last year.
We had one Saturday on there last year, but the second week, I don't think was.
It says here, we had Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Okay,
for
so
the first week,
the dates last year were what again, Mike?
He's got them
right here.
What were they?
12th through the 15th.
Okay, so that was a Wednesday through Saturday.
The next week was Wednesday through Saturday too. Next week.
19th, so let's do
Do that thing. So it'd be,
the 11th through the 14th,
yep, and then,
18th to the 21st.
yep, 18th through the 21st.
That work, Mike, isn't it?
Why not?
Do you want, well, I'll just have Sheena get a hold of Ethan Zimmerman. That's who we used last year.
She's got some stuff already set up with
Okay.
him, that she's over here today, so.
Well, I meant just so I don't have to get with it, because he was asking here a while back about it, so.
I'm sure.
So it ended up costing us, expenditure was $5,847, and we, revenue was $826, so it cost us $5,020.77.
Then you get $10,000.
We budgeted for 10,000, so we was way under last time.
Like I said, we get that tire cutter fixed, it'll be cheaper than.
Did we budget for that this year too again? I think we did, didn't we talk about that?
What's that?
10,000 for the cleanup.
Probably.
She's already looking, she knew it was coming next.
Where was the flyer for last year? Can I see that, please? Just curious. So we didn't take any tires at all other than for a fee last year, right? You weren't here, you weren't.
So much,
They
so
said
much.
they set the fees so high.
Well, we figured out what it was gonna cost us to haul them to the salvage yard and to cut them, I think.
See, we used to accept like 4 or 5 tires under a certain size, no tractor tires, no that type of stuff. But I don't want to get into that because we were paying to get rid of those.
Because they were, I don't think we did because of the cost of getting rid of them, because we went to, how much it was gonna cost us to take it to landfill.
Well, and then there was always a problem of somebody bringing 5 tires and then somebody else bringing 5 tires, or even that we had a lot of problems, remember, overnight, because somebody dumped
Oh, yeah.
huge piles of tires and just be
I
gone.
picked them up, I know.
Yeah, so remember that?
Yeah, I'd rather be on this deal.
And then we were stuck with
Have
them.
them pick them up in the ditches, people throwing them out.
So,
That's still.
let's say we take so many, if you want to get retired and take so many tires, how are you gonna charge it?
Well, the problem got to be, and Mike can tell you this, people would just drop off huge piles of tires and we wouldn't stick to the rule that we had so many tires.
So we're gonna end up picking them up anyway, and we're gonna still pay for them.
That's what I'm saying, that's why he's saying, instead of finding the ditch, he's saying it's gonna cost us. But at least we can cut them and get rid of them.
Yeah, if you can cut them, they'll take them up north. You don't have to pay whoever it was they hired to come get them before.
But they're not, you can't cut a tractor tire.
No.
I mean, you're talking car tires.
Yeah.
Oh, can you cut a truck tire, semi
I
tire?
don't know, I don't remember.
That's probably why we always did a certain size, was it. I would guess, I don't know, Mike.
Except that big old shear, but I don't know if it'll cut it, because of the steel. I don't know if it'll do it. We need to talk about that a little bit more,
I think we can set the dates and be all right with that, though.
Oh,
Okay. That is official, then 11th to
What?
14th.
Sounds good.
Sidewalls are cut out, and they should accept them, or like cut them in half, not necessarily shred them, but
That's what that cutter does, it just cuts it, slices it in half.
yeah, and they'll accept it that way.
Just to bury it is all they do.
The only reason why they ask that is because when you leave them whole, it gets stuck between like the track and the dozer
Really?
itself, or in underneath the blades, or, so it just makes it easier on them to bury them.
I
That's
heard
the
they
only
work
reason why
out
they,
good.
They work real well, because they expand,
yeah.
cut them, they won't expand.
Huh. I never knew that.
11th to the 14th,
We're
18th to the
supposed to be set up
21st.
too.
Never.
Yeah, that's right.
We're good.
That's all I
Forgot
got.
about that.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Have a good week.
Take care.
Yeah.
Get that pickup road.
Yeah.
Do you want to stick around for this?
We're kind of running a little late on that 10 o'clock thing.
All right, how long do you need in?
I have 30 minutes, I think we'll probably need them.
All 30?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, somebody want to make that motion?
I'll make it.
Darren made the motion to go into executive session, subject to be discussed will be legal advice on matters protected by the attorney-client privilege. The justification for closing the meeting is for consultation with our attorney on a matter protected by the attorney-client privilege. The open meeting will resume in this room at 10:33. All in favor? Aye. Jeff made the motion to extend it for 5 all.
Recess.
Okay.
See you again, turn it on.
No action taken.
Need a 5-minute recess.
Aaron made the motion for a 5-minute recess, all in favor? Yep, thank you, Richard. Thank you.
Oh, the one big guy.
Sorry.
Here's that, I'm gonna look up.
in when I'm in if you want to,
Okay.
because I'll be here all day.
Should I just something in there for the health department? Or,
Yes.
Okay,
I
all
have
well, let me forget that for you.
Okay, all
I
right.
know she sent us an email earlier today.
it. Okay.
Good, you, good.
If it's okay with you, can I borrow this until just like a little bit later this afternoon? Oh, sure. It was so fast this morning, I didn't get some of the numbers. Yeah, oh, sure, and it's fine. Thank you. You're welcome.
Gonna take you a little bit to get used to that. His name not for us.
No players, so.
I can see why they didn't recognize it. Never seen him. Stretching beard, look, man. When I looked at it this morning, I was like, that ain't him. But that is, I didn't recognize him. Yeah, wait till you see him. You'll be like, what? But I guess he was on I did, I used his name once. He goes, we looked a lot alike, but yeah. 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 Yeah, you go back in.
Good. Get my work done.
Yep.
Good, how are you?
Happy Monday.
Yeah, happy Monday, there you go. We've been working for days.
You do that on the Wednesday days.
We do, believe me, we have been on Monday days. How could you not on Monday day? We've got today, tomorrow, Wednesday, and then some on Thursday, and but after this week, we should be getting down close to
Yeah.
but we're down to 2 work days, the rest is home, so that's nice, because there's like 7 work days, I think it's old. I told Jason, oh, it used to be fun. It's not fun anymore.
Good to see you again. Am I up next? Oh.
Pardon?
Should I got there, Patsy?
Motion to reconvene.
So we,
All in favor? Tracy, how's it going?
Oh, it's going. For Monday, it hasn't been too bad. So, nothing major. We got 21 right now in our jail, so we're keeping her full. So, other than that, that's really about it. Some good news, the Dodge truck we had at Academy, which you guys will see the vouchers come through, the water pump and stuff went out on it. My nephew was up there, we had to pay to go get it, bring it back, rental vehicle, because we have the others. It was covered under lifetime warranty.
Really? What year was it?
I think those are the 16s, we had 2 of them. And we had
No
bought a
doubt.
lifetime warranty on them for some reason. And they're like, oh yeah, it's covered, so we were
Back when they
thinking.
couldn't sell pickups and they were attaching stuff.
Yeah, so I had them check the one we have down with the blown motor in it, and it wasn't. I was like, oh, because they're like, yeah.
well, we don't keep that one then.
So it's lifetime.
Where are you at on the vehicles right now?
We're down one still, which we got the new one at the body shop, and they're waiting on one part fixing the front end from the deer damage.
Yeah, but we've purchased everything for him this year, right, or you still got one?
We still got more.
Okay.
And we're trying to see, Chevy opened up last Thursday supposedly to be able to get a police package, but they didn't give us a price. So we're waiting to see what kind of price that's gonna be before I make a decision on that. Dodge is supposed to be opening back up, possibly.
Way too long, if it's gonna be next year before you get it.
Yeah, but we can't buy another body cameras right now.
So they quit offering a police package for a while then?
Well, they shut down, yeah, for a while on the police packages, because I don't know, something to do with the one I know Dodge, from what I hear, the Ukraine factory got bombed, and that's where they made something. They're offering V6s,
Yeah.
but
You would like that.
no,
I don't have no say in it, but I would want.
or Chrysler 300. Can't imagine driving a patrol car with a Chrysler 300. But they make them.
So you're looking at pickup again then?
We were wanting a Durango because of the dog units. One of them we were going to be getting rid of, and we were wanting a Durango for a little more room. But that's when they canceled when the factory got bombed. So
But then the Regans look like they fit our needs pretty good.
yeah, and they're all-wheel drive. They're getting around good.
No Crown Vics out there anymore.
They actually are Ford is coming back with a new
I
Crown
was
Vic.
just thinking about that the other day, because you remember, you probably weren't here, but like Dickie Longmire, and I guess Brad Moore probably. Those guys, remember they drove those Crown Vics? I just,
We used to
for
buy them
some
on highway
reason,
patrol.
but I was thinking about them driving them around down by Walter and thinking.
You know how many of them things I pulled out?
I
on
know,
county
but
road?
how long they drove those deals, and I just don't know how on earth they would have ever gotten down a muddy road or anything like that.
No.
But they did, that's.
But then that one car, the fact that they fit really good. The what during
Yeah, they are doing good. Yeah, we got two now.
Yeah.
And like them. And we're to the point now, and even Kenny said that if we can't get one, he'll swap, and we'll just turn that one into a dog unit.
How's it going?
Good. You'll see the voucher coming through on the dog. And what I did there is I got $5,000 in drug money just the other day, so we're just using that to help pay for the dog, so it's not costing tax.
Cool.
So when you see that and you'll go, oh, $5,000. It's actually $9,000 total, $9,500 for the dog and the actual training. But we had to voucher out half of it now, and it'll be July before the dog will be ready and get a new one. But
Get a new handler or,
yeah, we're gonna go with a new handler. Well, you guys know the whole circumstances there. Our plan was initially I didn't want one person to have everything because we don't have anything for the guys really to work towards. So we were planning on taking the dog eventually anyway, and because of all the way it's all happened, we're just gonna go ahead and retire and get another one. And when we got that money, drug money, we thought, well, we use it and get the dog. So when you see that, that's what it is. It should be coming through to get it paid. What else was it?
Will this be the one that does everything, or will it be?
We're not getting a full dual purpose because that's about $15,000. And a lot of training, a lot more. But I am doing, and the reason it was up a little to the $9,000 because I'm having them do search for people. They won't bite, but he'll do an article searches. So if someone throws something out, a gun or drugs, I mean, which drugs they will pick up on, but a gun or anything like that, he will do article searches. So I thought that will be handy for us. Where this one we have now won't do articles, just drugs. But it costs so much extra, and you have to have somebody willing to go lay tracks and hide in the woods quite often to keep a dual purpose dog, and the bite work, it's too much for what we need really. So that's why we're gonna go with what we got.
Good call.
Another quick question I had was, we had talked last week with Chris about the facility. There's gonna be a lot of work going into this to even decide if it's something we're interested in. What all are you guys wanting? And if I understand, I know money's an issue and all that. If it's something we don't think is gonna happen, I don't wanna waste our time. But if you guys want me to, I'll get a architect to tell us what it'll cost to come and look at the facility, talk to Pat more. But after leaving, I was like, well, what do they actually want me to do?
I think we said get an architect. And
To see what it costs.
Christina, I think was gonna check with Bruce to see if he knew one too, maybe.
I got a sneaking suspicion though, to revamp that hospital to jail quality facility is gonna be
It
expensive.
may take a bunch more than what we want. I don't know.
Because people wanna be there, and I don't know if the walls are gonna be, I'm just gonna throw this out there, by the time you get done doing architect and change that, I've been thinking about this, by the time you change that into jail, it's gonna be substantial amount of money.
And it very well.
More than building a new facility
I
than.
don't know. Cause I'm gonna say them walls in here in that jail just probably just ain't walls. I'm sure there's a lot of structure inside the walls.
Well, with like this one, and I don't know what that one is, cause I haven't went down and looked, the internal, if it's sheet rock, like our jail here is all concrete,
That's what I'm saying.
cinder block.
You know,
If
if it's
that one's
cinder
built, cause
block.
this one's older, I looked and the hospital is actually older than this is, structure wise. But I don't know with the interior, if there's sheet rock where you can knock out and open up to put pods in, or if it's gonna be concrete, cinder block, the same as the jail.
Have you talked to many community members and what kind of their input?
You know, when we did that 1%, we were kind of asking around to see what people thought, and we had good response. People didn't have a problem with it, but not that we didn't talk to a lot of people, so I don't know.
That's why, me personally, I told people this, long-term contract and story, as long as you keep people in there, it's a lot bigger sell because you're generating revenue.
Yeah. You know,
And I think, we all know that this is not gonna go away down the basement. There's no
Yeah.
way that's gonna go away for them down there. It's gonna be, every year coming in, there's gonna be something going on with water.
it's gonna be a problem. It has been since I've been here.
I'm assuming it's been going on for years.
Assume so.
So it's not gonna go away, that's why we was talking about going over there. Well, that didn't pan out, because we didn't want to blow away, and by the time we spent the money to do that,
I just have this feeling though, the community, if we put all this work into place and then put it up for a vote, it'd be the same as that chaparral gymnasium. I just don't think it'll pass. Now, we have a different population now than what we did then. We've got new people moving in and a different mindset, but I still think, gosh, I just think everybody,
I don't know how you get a census before you put up a vote, kind of what everybody's thinking.
I just get this idea though that people are tired of spending money.
Well, I get it.
Tired, because everything costs more money right now, Tracy, and I'm not saying that there's not a need, but what I'm saying is I think everybody's just, I don't know, I'm maybe a little nervous about what the future has to hold maybe.
I'm with you, and it's not that I think, and I don't want to get this, I want people to understand, I'm not saying we absolutely need a new one. We can bandage this and go, but at some point you're gonna have to. I mean, it's
Well, I don't
built,
want to spend $30,000 or $40,000 every year doing
That's the
something
issue.
in that, I mean, that's kind of throwing the money away too, because you know every year, you're gonna spend, which we're trying to leave some of that money, because we're trying to move all the electrical stuff over to here. Josh is working on that, so that's gonna alleviate some of it.
but you still got the plumbing
You
issue.
still got issues, I know.
You know,
I
and
mean, I
that's,
would like to think that the public trusting us three commissioners, I mean, if we think it has to be a done deal, they should.
well, you've
I mean,
got to
I
have
haven't,
a
I've only talked to two people that was against it. I've been asking around. So,
you have to have a jail. That's one of the things that
Well-
the community's got to understand.
If you don't have a jail, how much is it gonna cost
So
us to
it's
ship?
gonna cost a lot.
A lot more than us having a jail. Because you told us what that number was last time, and that was, there's no, I mean, that's not even, we couldn't budget for that
I
either.
mean, look at our numbers, we're at 21 now, so imagine paying 40 bucks a day to house those 21 inmates, plus you're still paying their medical, and then you're paying full staff just to drive back and forth, bring them to court. So it gets expensive, and that's the part I would hope the public, and I know there's people out there that we can get in. We got a guy that we met last year at the Sheriff Conference in Texas, that's what he does. He comes and talks to the community and puts stuff out to show them
So, is that,
how to profit, or how you're saving money by going new, whatever it is the issue is.
So-
It helps sell it to the
is it $40 a person a day?
a day.
So 20 times 40 is 800. times, how many days? Some of them in every year.
Well, we average about 20 inmates a day, so 365 days a year roughly.
$292,000.
That's just a house.
That's just a house. That's $300,000 just a house. That don't count the
Employees moving back and forth.
back and forth.
And
that's-
vehicles, fuel, because I'm gonna have to keep the same amount of jail staff because you're driving. I mean, we have court
Every day.
Right off.
Something to be moved around every day.
So-
We should have a doctor visit, the dentist.
So you figure your time and everything, 300,000 a house, take that times 2, so at least that'd be $750,000 a year. Roughly.
it's expensive.
That's why.
Yeah. Well, and you mean, you look at Barber County, from what I understand now, since they closed theirs down, now they're talking like getting it going again because it's costing them
Keep
so
up
much
with it.
money.
Why did they close down? I can't remember what you told us.
Well, from what I understand, and don't quote me on what I understand, the sheriff shut it down because they didn't have the staffing and it was an older jail. It wasn't fit for what they needed. So he didn't technically close it. That's why they're able to reopen it.
Oh.
They're gonna remodel and supposedly, from what I hear, possibly
Cheaper.
back going again because it's cheaper.
A lot cheaper.
Yeah, and that's something that we would have to put out there so the public understands. Then can we get them to vote? I don't know. You know how it is when people go behind the curtain to vote?
Like I said, I just think people don't want to spend money. I mean, that's.
But if they don't, they don't. We keep spending money over there.
Yeah. My ideal place, and I'm not just me being the sheriff, would be right here if we're gonna build one. Because then we can just bring them right to courts. You know, the only issue there is we would have to do a lot more Zoom first appearances if we can, and then when we don't, we bring them over, which is not that far. But I just don't want to waste a lot of time and resources if we don't think that's the way to go.
The dispatcher that's there right now, where was that at before this jail got built?
It was one time, before this jail,
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you because that was in the 70s. I don't know if they dispatched out of the house that was here.
Yeah,
back
that's
then.
what I'm curious about.
They might have. I know at one time in this jail, dispatch used to be on this side of the building where my undersheriff's office is now. And then it was up in the main when you walked in, that was where the jail office is. That was
That's what I
dispatch
kind of
room
remember
before
that.
too.
Do you remember that? I don't know why I thought that.
Which, this side of the building, there's no piping running over their heads. So, I mean, I don't know, they moved it over to there. I believe that used to be a rec room, weight rooms type deal for the inmates. And they closed it down and remodeled and put dispatch.
When I was a kid, when we toured it, I can't remember that weight room and regular and stuff.
That was way before my time.
You know.
It was fairly new, I should say, when I moved here. Dispatch side was.
I still think revamping that hospital into a jail is gonna be.
Well, and then you think about it. If you put it out there, they've got a
Still hard.
carpool inmates over here. If you had it right here,
Just walk across.
walk across.
Well, and then you go to moving something like that to a different area of the community, you're gonna have to deal with that too, because they're gonna say, why are you putting that out there by us? Which, it's right here in the middle of town, the way it is right now, but that will happen, I know, but.
And my guess, just off my head from what I'm hearing other sheriffs, we're probably looking at $5 to $7 million to build a new one.
Yeah.
The what?
To build a new one.
Wow.
Well, I'm sick, I guess. Okay, I'm saying these walls got iron in them some kind, they just ain't block walls.
Well, a lot of rebar and concrete
So they
pouring
can't
down the brick wall.
So, okay, they got brick wall out there, but it ain't the same, I don't know if it would pass for the jail.
You would have to build pods in there.
That's what I'm saying. By the time you got down, you're building a new jail anyway. Because
Well,
the brick wall's not gonna pass your share a jail cell.
Well, they're probably sheetrock anyway, interior wall. Bet you are. You know, at least the new part, I don't know about the old part of it.
And don't get me wrong, I like it's got a carport, or the sally port, the kitchen. I'd like the idea of having that more room, but I just don't know if it's feasible for.
How much it cost to get somebody here, architect, to pass?
That's what I don't know yet. I hadn't called because I wanted to make sure
Can you get
what
some
we're
number
doing
on that?
before we.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna hurt, so.
Well, can we do the design build process like we've done with like EMS station and all that?
You mean have like the architect just come and tell us what kind it'd cost?
We put in,
Yeah, and I can call a few, and see. if
Like, see
they're
what
willing
number-
to do that. I know it's not fixing the dispatch situation right now, because it's something that'd probably take a while to get done on our part.
and see, when we did that for the EMS stations, it didn't cost us. I mean, each of those companies that wanted to put in that design build. And I don't know, maybe talk with
And that may
Kim.
be, I've never done one,
And
that'd be
so
my first, so
it didn't.
Yeah.
They come in and they put in their bid and their
That's
idea of what,
what it would cost.
but it's still a process though, Tracy. It takes you guys a lot of time to get all, I mean, because you're gonna have to tell them what you want, how you want it. and-
But I guess if we're gonna keep pursuing this, I don't know what that's gonna be, because you know what this across the road's gonna be, like $7 million. So if that comes in at $6 million, why would we even think about it?
Yeah, you might as well better off putting.
See what I'm saying? I mean, it gives us an idea of what
It'd be
we're
right
up
here.
Because then you got new air conditioning, new everything, I mean, new walls.
You might talk to Kingman County and see how they end up.
I know Kingman did one, Greenwood County right now is looking at building one. I can talk to Heath there and see who architect they used. They're about our size, so that would be a
Design
deal.
build, that'd be great.
But I just wanted to check before I spend all this time doing that.
Well, I don't want to spend money. I don't want to ask people, you know that about me, so I just don't want to, I hate taxing people more around here because I think there's so much unknown in the next year about how life is going to be. And that never goes away, I understand that, but I also see where you're coming from, and we can't keep.
Yeah, I just, I'd say another 10 years, you're gonna have to do something no matter what over there.
Go big or go home.
Because it's just an old building and it's got its issues. It wasn't designed to house the inmates we house today. It was designed, and that's what the jail institute said, it was designed to hold 4 or 5 people.
Yeah, and that's not going to go away. I think where we live right now, it just,
No.
and if people don't see that, you just gotta look around with it. It's not the community I grew up in, I guarantee you that.
No.
Just walk around town.
I'd like to see some numbers.
Okay. I'll sure contact a few and.
I think it's eventually at some point in time, it's, like I say, it's gonna be something we're gonna address, whether you wanna, if the community don't want it, they say no, let's keep.
But like I said, see how Kingman County approached theirs. How did they start? How did they?
Well, and I know they used their wind farm money to pay for it, so. But I think they added on to the existing one.
Yeah,
They
it
built
was.
it, from what I understand. But still, it would give us an idea and an architect to talk to.
Yeah.
So,
And I still think it's ugly. Fair.
yeah. I've been there, so.
Do what?
They did the design build.
Yeah.
They had companies coming in and give them.
So that's a better way for us.
That's what we need.
And Richard wanted to throw my 2 cents in. I guess there was a talk, it's our cell phone computer system that we use, the PD has. The county pays for the software and stuff every year because we use it, like drug warrants and stuff will download.
Oh, to be able to search and.
So when you guys, if you talk to him or whatever, he said he didn't mention it a while ago, he called me this morning to kind of give you guys what it is and that we do use it. We use it quite often.
Is that coming next week?
I don't know, or he may see it this week. I don't know what he called me this
I
morning.
had one more question for you before you run out.
We don't know really what you're talking about. I mean,
Well, you will,
I
when it
don't-
comes across, you will
Okay,
now. And what it is, it's, like I say, we do a drug warrant and we want to get the person's information off the phone. Drug talks, numbers, we can take it down. As long as we got their passcode, their system, we can plug it in and we can download everything
All
off
that's
the
it
phone.
and stuff. You don't have to go through the phone, come and
Yeah.
get it, yeah.
If it's locked and they won't give us it and we gotta go a little more, then we have to send it to KBI and it takes months to get it back. But, so it's nice having that system.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all. I think
So when
that's-
you guys see that, you kind of have an idea what it is, and we do use it.
I got a quick question for you.
Okay.
We looked at, computers last week with Josh.
Okay.
Do you use all them? Do you need, because you got 2 here, it says upstairs office, you got 2 HP ProDesk 650s. I mean, I see names on these other guys. Because he gave us a list of all the computers we have. If they're not essential, we should get rid of some of them.
All of our computers are used. I don't know which,
Well, I mean, it's your office. And
How many are there, Darren? I don't have that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of them.
Yep. And that's one for each deputy.
Each
And then-
laptop is a deputy.
Yeah. And what we do is we keep them in our office, so they're our office computers also, and then if the guys need to, they can unplug them and take them out.
Yeah, because they got their names tied all in it.
Yeah, it was on that.
The only two that didn't have names tied to them was these upstairs offices. You know, like, they must be in your office.
I've got one.
I'm quick.
Tracy? Yeah.
We're
We're just checking on
Yeah.
Oh, there's 2 more down below there, too.
to make sure that,
Upstairs office, sheriff's department, bullpen.
Yeah.
So they're down there.
Bullpens where they book would be my guess.
Well, but then there's another one, Tracy, that's booking room.
Okay.
Fingerprint.
because we're not,
Fingerprint computer.
Oh, fingerprint.
And there's a bullpen out there, too.
We're
so
not-
There's 3.
we're just making sure that what we've got, you know, is being used. We don't have some.
Yeah, all of ours are.
Like, there's one that says unused RN.
Is that his?
Yeah. Sheriff's department, bullpen, unused RN.
You know what that one is?
What's the number?
Which number?
This should be like sheriff.
One-
and then-
109.
Sheriff 109.
Yeah.
Is that the reserve computer?
Should be,
That's a reserves computer, part-time. So they have one that they can, with all their stuff on it, and they can. that's
Well, you're
what
just the
I'm
first,
guessing.
you're just the first
Yeah.
month of back here, because they're
No,
not
that's
gonna get the same question, so.
Yeah, we don't have,
that was Will's,
Huh?
Will Bishop, that's it.
okay. Yeah. I know all of them are being used, whichever
Okay,
ones
that's
we
fine.
have, we don't have
I
any
mean,
dead ones.
it's your office, but
Which we did have one for the SRO that was sitting, is it still down there?
So, yeah.
So he could transmit.
Yeah, and that's fine.
that's why we got this list. Yep, and I started with 10.
Yeah.
So I was the first one in the back, these guys are the next ones.
There you go. Yep.
That's how we're doing
I picked you, because
There you go.
that. Tracy, we didn't give you much direction, I don't think.
No, you did. You did. Get some numbers.
I just didn't want
Numbers
to,
on what costs one.
I didn't want to go through a bunch and then we go, yeah, no.
I'm still gonna say no.
I know.
I'll tell you that right now, Tracy, I just don't.
But the public, I want to hear what they have to say. If they absolutely, okay,
Then we go on.
we'll go on,
Okay.
let's move forward.
And if it don't cost nothing to have a contractor come in and tell us,
Right, that's what that design build process, that's why we
then
did that.
why not try it and see what it's gonna cost?
See where we're
At
at.
least we'll know.
Yeah.
Cause my number may be off, I may be able to do it for 3 or 4 million, and then it may be 10 million, I don't know. You know, we'll just have to
Yeah,
see.
for both places, I want to know, you know, so we know where we're at.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Have a good day.
Nice talking to you again, Tracy.
You too.
Good to see you.
Good guys.
Kevin, are you up?
No,
You're not?
no, I was just gonna drop off a letter for you guys
Okay.
to chew on. I'll talk to you in a few weeks after grants.
Oh, hey, thank you. Is it a paycheck? What?
No, it's not a paycheck, sorry guys, but it won't cost you nothing but signature. I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Sean, no, Josh is up, yeah. Come on up, Josh.
Okay, I'm timing.
Got an hour?
Not quite.
Close.
This will be pretty easy. So tomorrow, this Tuesday, I'd like to have our Roadrunner Robotics Club come up to the courthouse from 6 to 7:30. They're going to help us out with a scavenger hunt that we're going to announce a little bit later, kind of an employee thing, and then we're going to open it up to the public eventually. So just Amy said she had no problem with it. Just as far as like the liability side, I mean 6 kids and Chris, so.
Well, I was in the extension office and we did a little.
In me,
bit of that. It was so much fun for us.
So,
In the courthouse after dark. It would be after dark, won't it?
6 to 7.
Yeah,
Okay, probably
yeah,
not quite yet.
still light. But yeah, we're gonna, I mean, they're gonna help, and then they get to run around and do the scavenger hunt, so.
I think it's great.
Yeah,
Kids involved.
I think
Will they be in the offices or just the hallways?
they're gonna be in my office, like, working on everything, we'll have some workstations for them.
But he'll be with them.
Yeah, I'll be with them. and
But
Chris-
I'm curious if the
Chris
other
will be
offices are gonna be open.
Everything will be closed for the most part, it's just, yeah. And like I said, Chris and I'll be.
There's some in the office, they
There
don't.
may see some security stuff or be some security stuff.
we'll be fine.
Okay. I have no problem with it.
Like I said, I'll be with him, Chris will.
I think you'll have a blast with them.
I think it'll be a lot of fun.
At that time, when I was in the extension office though, all the furnaces and stuff were still alive.
Oh, yeah.
And at night, those things started creaking and popping, and I get scared the heck out of all those village kids back in those days. But
Yeah, I mean, we may do something after dark eventually, but this is just to get them to help out with the project a little bit, and then we'll kind of announce things as we go forward.
works for me. I think it's a good idea.
Good idea, though.
Thanks,
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Good job.
2 minutes?
Yeah.
All right.
Did good.
Can you beat that?
No.
Well, not today, you can't.
No, not today.
Oh, thank you, Sean.
You're welcome.
A novel,
Yes.
a novel idea.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so starting on pages 1 to 2, this is for March, so there's 9 of 12 months remaining. Expenditure should be greater than 75% and revenues less than 75%.
We got more on the yellow this time.
Yeah, so, yeah, the commissioners are still a little under because of the dues. The clerk was added this time because of the transfer of the budget adjustment transfer of $37,000 to the finance department, so that's why they were under courthouses because of the annual insurance premiums in January. The sheriff is on there just because there was a lease payment that came out of the wrong account. It came out of their budget and it should have been out of the capital equipment reserve, so that will
Changed.
yeah, so that will go back up. Solid waste is on there, semi-annual lease payment made in March, so that will eventually catch back up and be good.
That's for the loader that's out there.
Yeah.
Other than that, everything's looking good there. 1, 2.
Hey, when do we get the next ARPA check?
I know they're not real sure. It could be in July, but there hasn't been a set date yet.
And that comes from the state?
Mm-hmm. On page 3, the remaining budgeted tax revenue on the top line is $524,057, and so that's 33% remaining. That's on page 3.
Oh,
the top
Page
line.
what?
3.
Oh, see, yeah, looking at the road and bridge.
Okay.
Yeah, if I could do this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I'm on page 3.
Okay. Other revenues, solid waste, diversion, county officer fees are trending under the 75% budgeted revenue. Solid waste does have $22.79 for year-to-date landfill revenue. Diversion fees are at $1,850 for the year. And the county officer fees are slightly under at 76.76.
Is this still in 3?
Yeah, uh-huh,
About halfway down.
yeah.
Okay, county officer 86.
Then on the lower section on page 3, the clerk, treasurer, sheriff, zoning are trending under their year-to-date revenue. Clerk has 79.13%.
The treasurer's like 100%.
Yes.
Tax sale.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, yeah, treasurer's at 126 for the year. Sheriff has $730 in year-to-date revenue. Zoning is at 78.57%, and then everybody else is exceeding budget. And then on pages 4 through 9, the expenditure should be greater than 75%. So the commissioner, county clerk, courthouse, sheriff, solid waste are below the 75%, and that's just because of the items that I listed above, because of annual payments of the clerk transferred to the finance department. So and the sheriff had the payment come out of the wrong account, so overall, on page 9,
It should be over 75%, you say?
yeah,
And why is the courthouse, what's the deal with the courthouse then?
because of the annual insurance premium
Okay.
that was paid. So instead of, it's budgeted for like, the per month, but it comes out all at once, so it'll catch up. In a few months. Then on page 9, the overall remaining budget on the bottom row is $4,157,677, or 79.47%. 9?
No.
It's on the very bottom row, 4,157,000.
So,
How long is the county fair, the county fair building been at 25?
Where are you looking?
You're on page 9?
Not yet. Didn't quite have that part yet. Oh, these are appropriations, so it's every quarter we make a payment to them, and it's same as extension office and social conservation, all that, so that's right on.
Okay. No way we get a little more than
That's a budget time.
Yeah.
It's a budget time.
Well, I was supposed to ask.
along with all the rest of the people.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Everybody got their hand in it.
Yeah. I had a few people already scheduled wanting to come in and visit about getting more money.
It's about that time already.
Yeah. And also on page 9, you can see that our
Do something positive.
yeah, I heard it.
Came from that way. Scary.
No, do the car.
The cash is on page 9 at $3,195,651.
So, where's it, is that,
That's good.
okay.
Good job.
So we spent 20% of the total general fund.
Fund.
20%, we should be 25.
Mhm.
I like that number.
That
Yeah.
helps, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But your revenues aren't coming in either.
Right.
So
I know the revenues on the, where's that on this one? Is it on the line of revenues or is it on a different one?
It is, the lower section, like on page 3.
Page 3 is revenues.
Yes.
And how far are we behind on that? Total, does it give you total?
Well, it's at 76.76%.
So not, it's not like,
It's not far off though. is
Yeah,
it?
it's not like terrible, yeah.
Okay.
All right, on pages 10 through 13, on page 10, EMS, their remaining budget for ambulance fees is $227,920, or 71.23%, and they're trending to exceed their budgeted revenue. Employee benefits on page 12. They had a miscellaneous deposit of $3,849 for 2021 premium refund for work comp. So that's good.
On this, I'm gonna go back to
Okay.
page 11 on the health department. They're at 43% remaining
it's
for.
not working there, is it?
Yeah.
It's hard on my non-accounting brain to bump back and forth between revenue and expenditures.
I'm having a hard time with this one too myself. So
Yes.
we should be aware
So revenues should be
75.
less than 75.
So if you want to look at one, like the 911 emergency tax,
79%.
they're not quite on track.
Yeah.
They're not bringing in what they should be, so if that helps your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's hard for my mind to keep shifting gears back and forth, but that's,
Yeah, because when you want 25, it's one with 70.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the health department is trending to exceed their budget.
By
so-
long ways, isn't it?
Yeah, yes. Department on Aging,
I
they're,
just brought that one up, because I started with that one.
Right.
Was making sure we were on the right side of the
we're
thing.
doing good, right. Department on Aging is trending to exceed, as well as, public transportation.
Boy, everybody's really
Yeah.
doing
Doing good, yeah. And then, pages 14 through 16, all departments are trending under budget overall with the 84.69% remaining, which is on the last page.
So you want
So,
the department year end, so you want to be above 75.
mhm.
Our people are doing good there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but, and I don't know how many of you are still searching for employees, but that helps. If we,
right.
not helps as far as getting work done, but it helps as far as saving money on budget.
It's like noxious weeds, grazers,
Oh, yeah.
everybody's road and bridge.
But keep in mind with him, he usually takes out of the last year for his chemical purchases, so we get to,
You gotta make that work.
you know.
Special, also.
Shawnee, you're doing a good job.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, it's nice to hear once in a while, so yes, I appreciate
There's
that.
no big surprises that don't look like, so.
No, but I mean, it just,
Yeah.
you're doing good as far as putting the notes together and putting it in a way that.
Good.
Well, good. That's about the second one you did.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Second one you did.
I don't have the note paper. I can email it to you. With it, you want that?
Please, thank you. That helps.
Yeah, it does. Helps me anyway, because my, like I said, my non-accounting brain.
So for picking up for the second time too, I thought it was great.
Okay.
So you know.
Good, thank you. Okay, so this, wind energy, let's see, what was it? I had it there.
That's the dinner, isn't it?
Yeah, ceremony and luncheon. Does anybody want to go?
What day is that?
It's on Thursday, May the 12th, from 11 to 1.
I just have so much stuff going on right
Okay.
now.
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. And then Jim Kalp will be setting up a Zoom meeting at 10:30 to go over CID stuff, so I told him probably about 30 minutes. We can try to get through that.
Next week?
On the May 9th.
He will be here? Or?
No, Zoom.
Okay.
Yep.
Shelley will be there too, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Received a deposit from Waste Connections for $386,000 last week.
Who's managing up there now? Do you know?
Randy Vincent,
And,
Yeah, he's been up there for a while now. I mean, he came back, they said,
about a year.
yeah.
I say not long, so how much?
Well, he had been here before.
Yes.
Is there a lot of trash, or is it not happening with all this wind and stuff?
It seems better. I mean, when you got closed, which I haven't been up around there, I mean, I'm saying,
But on the highway,
I disagree with you, but on the highways, I haven't seen as much because they got those enclosed roads there.
So that's helping. Good. I don't, like I said, I don't go that way, so I don't see that.
Well, I bet from all this wind, I haven't had some of the wind, but it's been bad.
See what they think. If they think there's,
Wow.
because like I said, all that wind is gonna be blowing out. If it's gonna blow, it's supposed to be windy again tomorrow too.
Here's the inordinate spending authorization that Heather had sent you guys an email about.
Did you guys see that email from her? Okay. For a dental exam, Senior Care Act will reimburse us for this, and it's got to run through the health department. That dollar amount is $1,722.
So,
Jeff made that motion, all in favor? Jason, you understand what I said there? Okay. We're not paying for it, but it's running through there.
What was that for? I'm sorry.
It's for there's a Senior Care Act that reimburses us when there's somebody that needs dental work. I wonder if that's something very many people know about that exists. Because if I wasn't sitting in this chair, I don't think I would.
I didn't know, yeah.
And how somebody would even get a hold of
It's
it.
like that thing that Jennifer's, I mean,
Yes.
you didn't know the meeting was going on unless you put it in the paper or really get it out. There's a lot of people that should go to that.
Well, but I wonder how you get a hold of that even. I know it exists, and I know that they administer that, but I don't know, it'd be something that you think of, be somewhat more publicized. And maybe I'll take it up with Heather and ask her, but I don't know.
Yeah,
If it's out there for some, I would hope it's out there for everyone.
yeah, like the local dentist could help promote it as well.
I don't know,
Yeah.
because I'm sure there's people out there
Yeah,
suffering and struggling to pay for this stuff.
sure. Yeah, 'cause I just went to the dentist last week and there was a lady needing dentures and she was like, how much is this gonna cost?
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything, and she was like,
Yeah.
can you guys take payments? So I was like, yeah, I'm sure it's expensive.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, the next thing is, we received this from GSI Engineering. It's for an invoice for $19,712. And they're just needing us to sign it so that they can send it to KDHE for reimbursement, and it was for that well testing there in Harper.
Yeah.
So they're gonna reimburse us in case somebody's gonna send us a check.
Let's vote that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can I get a motion to sign this, guys? It's the Tanks Trust Fund invoice submission for the KDHE.
I'm good with that.
Jeff made that motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Ooh, they've got Carla as the owner operator. Is that gonna be a problem? Should I scratch that out and put my name in that?
Yeah,
Because
I
she
can
was
also,
chair.
I can also send a letter to stating that she's
Okay,
no
I'll
longer.
cross that out and then
Okay.
put, because she was probably chair when we started this, I would guess.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And that's all that I had.
Thank you, John.
Shonda.
Very welcome.
I get something from Amy that said something about EMS thank you note. I can't, there's no attachment there.
I couldn't get it.
Okay, I'll just. Okay. Who's up?
Amy?
Amy's up. We're running ahead a few minutes.
Yeah.
Shawnee got us back on track.
Did you read all this?
Are you enjoying the job?
I am, yes.
Okay, you're just gonna say that no matter what. Jeff, do you hear
Yeah.
she's enjoying the job around?
Hey, so far Todd, he hadn't had to sleep in my house yet.
And if Todd knew she was upset, Todd would let you know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
wouldn't hold back on you.
No.
No.
Well, Todd doesn't look like that either.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, yes, I do enjoy it. It's something different every day, so.
Yeah.
Every day.
So what are you thinking, like, when you have to take over for Linda?
So, yes, so I only get like about a half a day to train with her because she's trying to do like EMS billing, and then I get like an afternoon to train with her like one day a week. And so far, I mean, like I write down everything that she does and make myself notes so that when she's gone,
Yeah.
but
Well,
I'll have a few more times to do things with her before she's actually gone, so you
Yeah.
know, get it.
and then you're gonna be able to call her if you do that.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
No.
She's not fully retiring up there. She's, right?
Yeah,
She's like-
she's still training someone up there, so, yeah. She's not, she said she was not gonna leave until we were comfortable.
That's good.
Yes.
Someday she'll be 80 years old when she gets a chance to
Well, if it was me, yeah.
hit the county stuff. Ooh.
Be laying there on deathbed, good, God, is Jeff ever gonna figure this out?
When I was at K-State, I saved the county until the very last thing. And most freshman kids, I suppose, is what takes that. I don't know. But I would lose the very last. I'm in this class with all these kids, you know, and
Let's just say I dropped mine. And you
it's
folks
not,
wasn't very happy.
it's not pretty for me.
Because you shouldn't wait till your last semester to do the horrible stuff. You should do the fun stuff then.
Yeah.
That was the worst class I had. I took some other just junk classes to be a full-time student that semester, but that was a tough one.
Yeah.
And I had already been out student teaching. I had to come back and finish up that fall, and so I was already dreaming about having a full-time job, making money, and
You read all this?
I haven't read it, no. There's a lot of money sitting there.
Didn't we talk about this?
That's why I asked
This
for the reserves.
This has come up before, but something.
You don't let it bring it. Surely. Here again.
No, tell by the shoe. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah.
Here comes Amy.
Still going with it, but
Stormtroopers. Am I trying to say? Look at that.
Stormtrooper, is that what you said?
Yes, that's right. You know, Darth Vader. Okay.
you did all in my head here. Too many things.
I do not have time for those. I forgot to attach to my email, but here, if you
Yeah,
did you guys already get that?
I didn't want to read it.
It's Monday. It's now on your emails. But I thought that was nice, and I thought it was really nice of them to forward it on to us too. But it's just a kudos to EMS and Anthony Butler. It was a kind of a, yes. A thank you from a president, which is nice to see.
Good to see.
Okay. Vacancy notice, last week we did decide to go ahead and post for the appraiser trainee position. But I do want to go ahead and do the formal vacancy notice so I can get your signatures on there because that is required if we have any referrals. So I don't know. That's courthouse, I guess, isn't it? You want to look at it? Jane, Truby. You know, Phil?
It says Turner on the wall.
Well, no, that's the,
Jane, Truby.
Yeah, it says Dan Turner.
Turner there then.
I don't
Is
know.
that a baby?
But I do know that story. That was nice.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Okay, the next thing, and this is the Arnold Group is a group out of Central County that does a lot of work with our state
Oh,
unemployment.
yeah, I saw that.
I just like to pass that on. They've got good information in the format's nice too, because it's easy to read. But our unemployment we're down to 2%. We've only got 2 claimants in Harper County. So,
2 clients.
yeah, but 84 job openings.
So what's that amount to now if somebody's claiming unemployment?
It's back to the way it used to be. It's normal.
Which is
It's
what? I
like-
guess I don't
I think
understand.
it's 2/3, up to a maximum per week.
And they still have to file that every week?
They do have to show that they're actively looking for a job.
And so they go in somewhere with an application in and that shows.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible that somebody can still be not finding a job right now?
It'd be awfully hard, unless they're just not qualified for what's available right now. I think a lot of people, 85 job openings, and that's what they're just looking on Indeed. So,
There was a deal I saw, and I don't say this to be mean, but I just think it's pretty tough to not find a job right now. But there was a guy standing on the corner that said, "I will work." Well, you're on the corner, there's a Walmart, and it just frustrates me because there's work everywhere, it seems like right now. I don't know how you cannot work.
at this point, I don't know, unless there's, who knows?
Yeah.
So if they can't, okay, so, and I know you may not want to answer these questions, do they have to pass a drug test and all that?
I don't believe, not for unemployment right now.
So you could go apply for a job, fail a drug test, and continue to stay on unemployment? Really, Jason?
I
Yes?
think so. Because I don't think, now if you get fired from a job for failing a drug test, that's different. You won't get unemployment in most cases, because that's a violation of most company policies, so that's gross misconduct. But
once you're
to
fired,
just
you can go ahead and,
you can go try somewhere else, yeah, but you won't get unemployment from that job.
but
That
once you're
pays-
fired, you can go start drugs and
Yeah, well,
then, right? And never get hired
I
anymore.
suppose if you're gonna do them, I don't know.
That's the world we
But
live
it
in.
doesn't go
Well, I
on
guess I didn't
forever.
know.
I mean, unemployment runs out. That's why, potentially why we have 361, well, wait, now we've got 57 people unemployed and only 2 people getting unemployment right now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so, but it could be that they're not looking,
And I didn't look at it super close to know, but is there also, and I've got it here, but is there also a figure on there that shows how many jobs are currently open in Harper County?
84 on the Indeed website.
Oh my, so we have 30 or 50, what'd you say?
57 people currently unemployed. Now, that doesn't mean they're looking, and those could be people that don't want to work or don't have to work.
And
But-
80,
Yeah, and 84 job openings.
that's pretty lopsided, isn't it?
So, and it could be, the way Indeed is, some employers put their job out there and they don't ever take it down. It does
Right.
expire after a certain period.
Okay.
It gets paused and they close it themselves. But
Thanks for sending that out though.
it's got some good information on
Yeah.
it. They expected 49.6 million people to retire in 2021 and 51.1 million actually did.
Wow.
Yeah, so that jumped big time. So
People
that,
retired of it.
well, yeah, and that created all the openings, and I think the pandemic made people realize, you know what? Life's too short, I can, so I'm going to.
Well, baby boomers are getting out, they're
Yeah,
done.
they are. So it's kind of, I don't know, kind of a cool document though, and I'll keep forwarding them as I
That's how you
can.
look at it.
K-Work, I know I told you guys about this last year when they calculated it all, but we got a plaque. Jess came last week, right after you guys were done. He showed up with our plaque.
Place to hang that, or you put that in your office,
We've
where's
got
that?
one up here, I thought.
There used to be
There
one.
used to be one. We can put it wherever, but it's kind of cool though, our people are doing a
Put it
good
in your
job.
office.
And what that is an exceptional loss ratio award. So they group us by how much premium we pay, and we are in the over $100,000 a year premium group. But then it is a calculation of our incurred losses versus our earned premiums, and we got first place in our group.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'm just hanging in your room.
sure. I thought that was pretty cool
That
though.
is neat.
Our people have done a good job being careful. Okay, again, April is Celebrate County Government Month. We had talked about ice cream social. It is scheduled for the afternoon of April 28th at 2 o'clock on the west lawn. I've talked to Michelle and she's got,
That's this week,
yes, this
Oh, what day is
Thursday. Thursday.
Thursday.
I won't be here.
Oh.
No way.
I can't be here. There's something going on that day.
April 28th.
Yes,
Is that field day?
maybe.
Is that what it is?
They're in the morning, the third graders are, but you've got big
Oh, I
kids.
got one.
Is that for the soil conservation field day thing?
Well, no, that's another deal I've got this week. That's on Wednesday. And the Farm Bureau deal, Ag Day, is that same day.
Yeah, it's the only day of the calendar, there's nothing going on in school.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I
I
mean,
don't
the
think
28th,
it's school field day, school field.
no, like the track and field, that's Sunday this week, isn't it? One of these days?
I think it's next week. Hang on, I should have
Oh,
No, that's told this week.
it. Is it?
I have a steel track. I listen.
Well,
I'm a good husband, Amy.
more stealer than mine because I don't even have it on my calendar.
So you're for sure doing it on 28th then?
Yeah, unless you want to try to move it. I mean, we don't want to do it on Friday because some public works are working on Friday. We want them to be able to come. So would you, I mean, I can
I
ask
don't
her.
like
if
missing,
possible
I'm
to do
just
it
telling you,
Wednesday.
there's no way I can.
28th, okay, so noon,
2.
2 o'clock?
When do you need money?
Oh, just whenever they're going to invoice us, so we'll pay it out.
Courthouse at 2 for
That
ice
way I'll have
cream.
an exact number for
Well,
you.
then, yeah, let us know so we can
Okay.
get you money
So
out
happy
there.
harvest.
And I better have that
Stores
starts at
utility.
noon.
Okay.
Just it'll be here. It starts at 2.
Okay, my alarm will go off at noon.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, summer help, I have posted the position for IT and register of deeds. Mike and I talked and decided that maybe we'd hold off on the public works one for now.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, and then I need to sit with Michelle and see if she still wants to maybe pursue one in her office with her motor vehicle account, because that's her budget, and I know she's got a couple people pulling from it right now. K-Camp came, well, K-Camp didn't come, but one of their adjusters out of Colorado came on the 21st of this month, so last Thursday, and we walked, Nolan and I walked him all through the courthouse from bottom to top to look at possible earthquake damage, and there are some things that made him raise his eyebrows a little bit, so.
Like the third floor?
Yeah, the third floor a little bit, the fourth floor, because right in front of that elevator, there's a definite issue with the floor there, and that's new. So it's been helpful though, because Leslie, our custodian, has noticed some things, and as she's cleaning, she can see this is new, so that was helpful. Again with K-Camp, risk assessment results, I did send that to you. Keep in mind, I emailed Mara, she's one of our contacts there, and a lot of what they're saying needs to be fixed. I mean, it's major things, water damage, fix the tile floor that's cracked so people don't fall. So I emailed her and just said, some of this stuff, that's not just laying new tile, that's not an easy fix, especially not for our 115-year-old building. So she's going to review it again and kind of get back to us on things that, okay, this needs to be fixed, this you can hold, what's the most important. A lot of it though is electronic. We've got a lot of people daisy chaining things.
And so do we not know that this person's coming?
We did know he was coming.
So why is all that stuff still plugged in? Because I think in the past, haven't we said, hey, this is happening?
This is the first time since I've been here that they've outsourced it to this Mickey group. The K work guy, our work comp guy, comes regularly and inspects different areas and stuff, and we usually do really well there.
Yeah,
but this is the liability. Although, they're power strips, but he wants them connected to the building. I thought they were too, but maybe not for everything.
The power strips were okay because but the ones that are attached to an extension cord and strung across the room.
Those are questionable. But we're not being bored or anything. It's just kind of something to keep our eye on. Avoid a fire.
How many courthouses across the state are old like this one that have 2 plug-ins and each office has how many computers now? I don't know how you're going to navigate that. I don't know.
It's going to be difficult. You'll notice though, they're not computers plugged into these things. It's microwaves and refrigerators.
Well, that's pretty good.
Space heaters.
It's under somebody's desk. Space heater.
Space heater. But, so just FYI on that, and she'll get back to me and kind of let me know how important, because the floor upstairs on the 3rd floor, we all know that there are cracks there, but that's not going to be, you're not going to slap linoleum over that, that's going to take some good.
That one's not that old.
No.
I think it was really old.
I was thinking, well, some of them. Although it was interesting, someone had been out here back in 2015 and looked at earthquake damage. So we had a baseline to look at.
Yeah, comparison.
Which was helpful. So some of it's been here a little bit. And again, it's a 115-year-old building. There's going to be some settling.
Brian made me get out of the outside.
He was looking on the outside to make sure there were no cracks on the outside. I took a picture of it.
I don't like heights. I do what my chairman tells me.
Yeah, let's go with that.
That's funny. Something put in there.
Yeah.
Risk avoidance grant. Jan had asked, we have a new ambulance. In the past, we've used that $2,000 that we get from K-Camp each year to do squirrel guards.
Yeah.
Do you mind if we use that?
I thought we did something else last year, didn't we?
Well, sure.
Get it every year.
Yeah. That's the best place to spend that. It's such a low dollar amount.
We did something different though, I thought last
We
time.
used it for some of the cameras, for security.
We did something different with it.
I'm not okay with that. What do you think, Jeff?
Do you mind if we use it for that?
One guard in front of it.
That's the next thing. Use that thing to smack it in.
Okay, another thing, drug screens. So, last time our person was here, she was telling me we could potentially do swabs. I could get trained to do swabs, which would cut our expense. If we were doing swabs, I could do the new hire drug screens here. They are not approved yet for DOT. So, this is just something you stick in your mouth.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste very good, but it's 5 minutes. Right now we're paying $85 for each new hire that we do, that we send to Patterson. And that is the testing fee plus their compliance one is now only paying $30 towards the collection fee. Well, they're charging $45. So now we're paying our $70 fee plus an extra $15 for each person we send out to Patterson. And Patterson has not raised prices. Compliance One is trying to work on finances, so they've lowered what they're gonna pay for those. Now, when Amber comes out and does our randoms, we don't pay for that. That's part of our monthly fee that we pay every month based on how many people. And those urines, we don't pay extra for. But anybody we send to Patterson, it's an $85 out of our pocket. Now, if you guys would approve me to do the swab, which is, I'm kind of excited about this.
Why?
I know, because it's just, I'm sick, I'm in HR, I belong here.
Do you get the results right there instantly? or-
No, but it'll be the same thing. I throw it in a FedEx package and I send it off just like we do anything else. And that's what Patterson does too. They FedEx it out. But we just saved $350 the first quarter of this year if I'd have done new hires
I
with
like what
swabs
he's thinking.
instead
I'm
of
glad you're
urine.
excited about it.
Yeah. Do you mind if I do that? I mean, I feel like that's kind of a
If
procedure.
you're excited about it, man, I'm ready to fun.
Get in the middle of that, you know.
All she's got.
Then she's kind of there going, man, so sad I couldn't do that.
When you're craving something like that, you're bored.
But I cannot make you money, but I can save you money.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
So if you're okay, that's what we'll do. I already took the online test, so I'm
Oh, you're excited, really? Wow.
It wasn't, yeah.
It's weird.
I was kind of disappointed. I thought that this was.
I swapped 3 people.
It'll be easy though.
Yeah.
But I am still we're going to keep doing the urine ones for our randoms because they will cost us anything.
How often does that happen? Every month?
Quarterly. She comes once a quarter.
I haven't heard about those lately, so I didn't know.
We've been doing all right. We're passing.
Good thing.
I
You
suppose.
got hearing, and that's good.
We're
All your
passing.
business.
I'm sorry. Okay, so thank you for that.
It's a good thing.
No, all I need now then is an executive session, just to talk about some non-elected personnel things. Oh, one thing I do want to talk to you before, well, there's something here. One thing I want to talk to you about before we go into executive. Matt, our appraiser, had asked about the zoning and the environmental duties. Are those duties, are those things that you, right now he's doing them. Apparently in most counties the appraiser is not doing them. Is that something?
See, I thought about that. Didn't we talk about that not long ago after Melinda left and decided that maybe other counties were doing that stuff?
Yeah.
Didn't we talk about that?
It's not in the appraiser's office is what he says. And honestly, he was gonna get me some information on what those duties all entail. Like I know in Kingman, their HR director does zoning, but I think he's got a background in that. And
Well, we had Melinda doing some of that stuff.
yes,
And so when she left,
it went to me.
he didn't want to do that, or was that something else?
Well, I think it's,
I thought that was the last thing we talked about. I thought that was the
Floodplain,
floodplain.
yeah, floodplain, yeah.
is that part of?
Because he's been,
I don't
he's had
know
that
anything about that stuff.
environment.
Well, the environment is something that Melinda had done at one point too.
Yeah.
And that could be anybody, I think, that wants to go out and inspect septic tanks.
Okay. Well, keep thinking about that because he thought of it because we didn't even mention that when we did an interview the other day. So, do we want, what we need to think? Is that
What
something
was
you
it,
want to?
environmental, what was it?
Environmental and zoning.
And zoning shouldn't be with the appraiser though?
Apparently, usually another.
It was floodplain that we talked about.
Yes.
Zoning's always been in that office,
Yeah.
as far as I can remember.
Casey, when she worked downstairs, it was in there.
It was
Zoning should be the appraiser.
Did a separate person do it, or was it the appraiser? that
It
was
was her and Leroy, because she went through as a recording secretary, and Leroy was the,
So he did it there. Then. Okay. Well, I just wanted to bring that up. Matt had
Yep.
mentioned it to me,
Sure. I don't know about the other one.
and I don't know about it.
no, that's moved around since I've been here yet.
I mean, I don't know what
Sean that made.
I'm just saying, I don't know.
Septic tanks, don't
You want to leave it there or what?
Well, I don't know.
I think the zoning should stay in there. I don't know about the environmental part of it, but
That was 10 years ago, Kyle Clark was doing that. Remember, he had that building over there in K-Dot, and he was doing that.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. So
That
he
was
was,
the environmental.
he was doing that. Well, then that deal kind of flopped and fell apart. And,
We just took it back.
yeah.
Well, something to think about.
Environmental plus
as we're
maybe
going
go
down this
together.
path.
Do what?
Just something to think about as we're
I
going.
can't imagine it's a tremendous amount. How many septic tanks do you
Well, I don't know. That chicken deal out here, that was one of them, was happened just recently. That, I heard that KCK did that, had something to do with that,
That was an issue.
and environmental, septic tank stuff.
Okay, what do you need, how long?
Let's just do 15. If
Yeah, I already had 15 down here, I knew that's what you was gonna
You're
say.
gonna make that motion.
I thought you was gonna say 10, I was gonna say,
Jeff made a motion to go into executive session, subject to be discussed in personnel matters, I assume?
yes, non-elected.
close to noon.
Justification for closing meeting is to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel. The open meeting, we're resuming in this room at 12:05. Right?
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Darren's gonna extend for 10.
For 10?
I don't know if we'll get
This will be reflected on our premiums next year. They went down this year, I think they'll go down again. Do you guys have anything else
No
for
action
me?
taken?
Oh, Richard needs to talk to you guys about something.
Okay.
Do you need me in here for that?
I don't think so.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, guys have a good day.
You too. Yeah, Richard, we'll just set you in the chair in here and get you comfortable, and you can just hang out all day. For a couch.
And other business.
Hang out.
This is on an inordinate spending authorization. It's for that program that we have been, the county, and we, I think, traditionally used diversion funds. It's a program the Anthony Police Department has that when there's phones seized, unless they won't disclose the password, if it is password protected, the Anthony Police Department can, what they call dump the phone, get the information out of it as far as text messages, who calls have gone to. And they do that for the entire county law enforcement community. And it's $1,995 on a yearly subscription. And it is used. I think sometimes they have trouble. Of course, Anthony's pretty short of police officers right now. They always do it for the whole county, and of course all the law enforcement agencies contribute to people who are seeking diversion and pay for that diversion.
So Harper dumps into that too, and Attica and everybody?
Diversion funds. You mean this, pay for this? I think, so a question I had though, is if the city does it, why is the county paying for it out of the diversion funds? How come the city doesn't pay for it?
Because all the law enforcement agencies in the county.
So Harper County Sheriff's Department uses it, Attica Police Department uses it, Harper Police Department uses it.
But
So
I guess
we're paying our share of it.
But no, that's the whole total, isn't it?
Yeah.
We pay the whole thing. So my question to tag along to that first question is, so why isn't it taken care of in the Harper County Sheriff's Office instead of the Anthony Police Department?
I don't.
You see what I'm
You're
saying?
getting asked a lot of questions you wasn't planning on.
It was that way when it got here, and it always has worked. I don't know if they may have had more room for it, or maybe they had a computer system that was more compatible to it than what the sheriff's office had.
Okay, and that'd be a question for Tracy or something anyway, why? And we've paid for it in the past, it's, I think, a pretty handy tool for them.
Well, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, I just am curious why, if it comes out of diversion funds and the county, the 100% of the diversion funds pays for it, why it's housed in the cities. Because if they're short on people, right? Did you say something about that once, that they're short on the police department, right? They are. Are they? They are.
Yeah.
So then if they don't have the people there, wouldn't it make sense to put it somewhere where there's more people to operate the deal? I don't know, just throwing it out there, Richard.
Well, there sure wouldn't be in Attica, there sure wouldn't be in Harper, and I don't know whether.
That's what I mean in here, though, we have more people.
Maybe.
Well, covering 24-hour patrol, and I think Tracy's a full staff now.
Yeah. I'm just throwing it out there, I don't have any problem with it, I think it's a good idea to have it, but I just wonder why it's housed at the city of Anthony.
So we pay for it, then where's the money come back in the diversion fund? I mean, we pay for it, does Anthony pay their share of it, or explain the diversion fund a little bit to me?
Well, it's a program that is established and operated at the discretion of the prosecutor.
Okay.
And people who are charged in district court, which are the people that I prosecute, in certain cases they have the option to follow the diversion guidelines, do what they have to do, and they have to pay routinely have to pay a lot of them are speeding tickets, pay the fine, the costs. If they don't get another speeding ticket the next 3 months, then it's dismissed.
Okay.
And they usually pay an extra $150 up to $300
Okay.
diversion fee. That's where most of the funds come from. DUIs are eligible for diversion, misdemeanors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm good.
What's that account have in it right now? Because didn't we use some of that for some of the software that you guys got here recently?
Well, that was, I think that was when we made the presentation, part of it was going to be paid for.
Part of it was coming out.
No.
And we hit it pretty hard with that deal. I mean, we didn't use it all. And we didn't leave it zero, if I remember right. We didn't use all of it.
Right, I'm just curious where it sits, because I remember doing that then. And then with that new drug dog that's coming, will there be any more expenses pulled out of the diversion funds for that?
Didn't know there was a new drug dog.
Well, I didn't know either until just a little while ago.
It's not responding.
You want Jeff to come over and fix it for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It looks like you did yours earlier. What did you have to say? It said something about okay. It said something else.
I'm the computer whisperer, I guess. I don't know.
You go whisper in hers and make it work.
No, I'm good. Todd might be watching the video.
Get over computer.
Desk is.
Skateboard.
We'll open that
Why
one.
on earth are you supposed to do
I
that?
just looked at that one a little bit ago, like, good grief.
I gotta put you on.
It's like a snack
It's
fest.
a trick or treat drawer. Is it working?
No, I have to shut it down,
No.
so it can.
The other thing I was wondering about, the office upstairs, it used to be the appraiser's office right next door to mine. I would like to have you think about maybe if we could maybe make that a conference room that I could use, because as you know, if I get more than 2 people I'm talking to, there's nowhere.
Shelley's old office is what you're meaning?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no problem in that. Is there a table left in there for you, or do we need to?
Now, there's a desk in there, I've got a spare table, and then there is another, it's the old boat
I would
table.
say we use it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can see where that'd be pretty handy.
We won't be keeping anything in there because there's no lock on the door.
Right.
Oh, there's not?
Uh-uh.
Okay, yeah, no, I think absolutely you need to be using that.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to office in your office when I was in the extension office, and when people would come in, you could, because before that, so Paula was in the corner, and I was in that one when you first came in the door. Well, I got people come in, and she'd be trapped back in her office, it just doesn't work very good. So yeah, I can see where you use that. We've got computer problems.
Sometimes we have, having trials or preliminary hearings, some of the witnesses don't want to just wait down on the 3rd floor, and we have someplace up there to.
So in that old jury room, and in the corner of that, are there still the law files? So all that stuff is still back in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know, it's kind of limited with the jury room being
Kind of hard
out
to
there in
access
the
that.
front.
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
But they were okay with it being back in that corner. I remember when we did it. Were you
Well,
here yet when we did
yeah,
that?
I think that's fine, but if you tried to put somebody else in there and you had a jury,
Yeah.
you can't get there except.
No,
through the
yeah.
clerk's
Talk about
office.
kind of a wasted space almost. I mean, to have those rooms chopped up like that. And I really never knew that whole thing existed in that corner because there was no way to get back into that. But
I think the office would be great.
yeah, I do too.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
What are you doing, Sheena? We're on.
I know, I'm trying. You're putting me on the spot.
Yeah, hey, don't worry. It's not like we have anything else on Saturday.
We'll take care of her.
She didn't even hear me, did she?
We'll take care of Jennifer real quick.
Yeah. If you got a few minutes, just.
You can go on this
Hey,
side.
we need to
Better
figure
is
this
that,
out.
depending
I
on
don't
what
want
you
to
find.
We can see.
We can sign it.
I'll
Get,
take
she
it
never
down.
get.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Trying to get them to get anxious to.
I don't,
Maybe it counts as bankrupt.
I don't know if you guys care, but Ryan did
I don't,
bring,
but Jeff kinda does.
Jeff kinda
What's
does.
that?
The color of her, she said she didn't even care or not.
I brought this as reference. So pictures, the building's kind of a putty tan and the trim is a light
What do you call it?
putty.
Is that a real word?
Putty, yeah,
looks great
that's
to
your
me.
wife, yeah.
No, okay.
Looks great.
That's putty, it's kind of a
You said putty.
gray tan, and then, so the trim is a light color. So unfortunately, there's 22 different colors to choose from, so I was like, don't give us that many choices. But some of these are textured, so that's what the difference was, like that has a texture to it.
Yeah,
I
is
don't
that
know that it
good?
matters. But, so I don't know if, and I'm just thinking if we ever, hopefully, painted this building, that if we didn't do the same color and did another color, I don't think you'd want, you know, everything all super light.
Say that probably Jennifer would be the best qualified to do
It
this, Jeff. I don't know what this guy's doing.
I kind of like this,
That'll
I
hurt
kind
my
of like
last
this
feeling there. I was
Yeah,
kinda-
bronze, there is no purple, I am so sorry, but there is blue, I'm not opposed to
Don't put
blue.
Yeah.
The blue barn,
The
blue
green
barn.
looks better than the blue.
Oh, fellas,
Do you care?
I like blue.
Are you in charge of the
How
colors?
about
I
that?
put black on it.
That one.
You put black on our house, it looks great.
Is it hot?
The dark
Not
one,
bad at all.
maybe. You think? No?
If you don't like blue, I can't believe you like green.
Well, there's a reason I don't like blue.
Oh.
You know, I don't like them or Jayhawks or green.
Black.
Yep, never said black.
Black?
Black in my house is, you can paint, it goes great with gray, or go great with white, or go great with.
This is burnished slate, so it's not black, but it's dark. I'm just thinking they've already said that we don't have great ventilation, and so I think the black scares me. I'm the one who has to pay that electric bill, my goodness.
You got insulation, it ain't no
Here's the
difference.
deal, it's not, you don't need me to look at it, so if it's whatever you guys, I'm gonna exclude myself from it. 'Cause I'm not-
Let you run pick that.
No, because it's gonna come back, and then it's gonna be
Yeah,
like,
Hey, I
"Yeah, she
promise
doesn't
I
know what
won't.
she's
You
doing."
don't want me picking any colors.
I ain't promising anything.
Do you let Jason pick the colors at your house?
Did they find it?
He could do the basement.
Did you get it?
Nobody goes there.
There's 18.
No, he don't want me involved in the
We
colors.
conceded. We actually agreed on most things, surprisingly.
What was it, Sean?
18,000.
18?
So what color are you thinking about changing the color to, then, if you change the color?
Give me a motion so I
Well,
can sign this while you look at it.
So,
$1,995, all in favor?
the other thing is this is the colors for guttering, so I think you want it the same color. So whatever we choose needs to have.
It matches right in.
Well, she asked you to make a motion.
Yeah.
Because our gutters are the same color as the, you can't see the gutters on the house.
Recommendations are brown. I like the bronze. I like the browns.
So you got it.
Light color.
It's all on you, Jennifer.
Blue it is, all right.
I'm not sure about
We have that in
that.
minutes.
Okay, we made it blue.
Oh, somebody's gonna have an opinion, don't you worry.
I think I'm gonna nick red.
Okay. Well, I didn't like the red, but I am kind of neutral.
Put that gray color, that'd be fine. That's like middle of the road, isn't it?
no, that clash.
I'd use a darker gray.
Gray.
You have to use darker.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I meant, that darker.
I'm not sure of gray, like any kind of gray roof.
I don't know if you're
gray
colorblind,
side.
I don't know if you're saying that's gray, that's
Use
gray.
a dark one, like
Like
a
a darker color.
I don't even dress myself, guys. I'm telling you.
I
We
can
don't
tell
have
you
an
where
interior design like me and Struble.
Yeah.
You need to stop by my wife's office because she's one of the side dark colors.
Oh, yeah. We're kind of like maybe one of those.
Darker. If you're gonna keep this color, you can have a light colored roof on it, it'll leave all one.
And honestly, the roofer, the contractor's gonna know a lot of good colors to go with it.
I like the darker gray.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you can paint the house or paint this place white,
Yeah.
or you can paint it.
Yeah, I don't know about that texture
Tan.
deal. I'm not sure.
Ain't nothing, not big deal.
I'm fine over there and walk around.
Okay.
I don't know why you want textured on tin on top.
It looks like rock on top of there,
I
probably.
mean, you can't really see it, but would you be able to, I mean, you wouldn't be able to see it that far away, but you can feel it. It's not
Because everybody's gonna
slick.
get their feet on it,
Yes, I want them all, we're gonna take a tour
Why don't,
of our new room.
Look at my new roof.
We're gonna hear about it.
Pick the right one, man, I sure don't have to answer that phone call. What the heck, you got that color?
It'll be a Harper deal, it'll be Jeff.
I wonder if that's more expensive.
With the texture on it, I imagine.
I don't know, but there's, most of these have the same color on both, whether textured or not, so there's gotta be a burnished slate in here that's not. But he thinks like 2 weeks to get materials,
Wow,
so
really?
he thinks, I mean, he's making it sound like he's getting her in
So
and.
I know when he put the gutters on our house, he did a great job, I'm gonna tell you.
Well, they gotta hustle. There we go, burnished slate, that's the same color, one's textured, one's not, that's what it looks different,
Hmm.
but it's the same color.
Well, ask him about that.
Okay, good choice.
Get his opinion too.
Good choice. Do you wanna weigh in, Jason? Do you wanna like?
He's close, he'll see it probably more than anybody.
Blue? Is that, you think that blue
No.
is nice? Yeah.
Or like with the crimson, Boomer Center.
No. All right, time to go, all right.
Thanks, Jennifer.
This was all, this was all
Okay.
water,
Really, we good?
football teams, I know.
We good?
This colors.
Jason, everything good? Good, good? All right,
Other than there's all this color stuff, everything's themed around football or college. We got blue, we got purple, we got red. And we had orange the other day.
We have the largest spring football game attendance in the nation. 75,000 strong, baby.
Oh, I just threw it out there.
Hey, you leaving?
I'm gonna go use the restroom.
Oh, okay, I thought maybe
We're
you
done,
were
aren't
leaving. Yeah, we're done.
I've been holding it.
Somebody.
The old guy held on.
I do, I don't find out filled out yet.
I was gonna say, I can
All right.
work all that up after lunch if you want
You
me
know
to.
let Richard know.
Yeah, but you'll need to.
Yeah, he would, he would still here.
Here, we'll sign.
Yeah. Technically, no.
But if I bring one by.
Just for one idea.
Pretty sure that I can.
Said yes.
Yes. Okay.
But I did have a question, Haley.
Okay. Trying to
Um,
answer it.
So I'm